Hey, y'all, welcome. Let me tell you, I am learning this platform brand new. So if you are tuning in tonight, please let me know you are here. Let me see. Show, hide. I'm learning all kinds of stuff. Oh, wait, I'm live on. No, I'm not live there yet. Let me get over here. Let me put this up right here. All right. This is an entire, like a social experiment we're doing right now. I just got my StreamYard account and we've set it up tonight to be live on where are we live right now? We're live in Activating Your Great I Am on Facebook. So if you're there, give a shout out in the comments. We're also live on YouTube. I don't know that I've ever gone, well, no, I may have gone live when I first set up that channel. If you're over there on YouTube, put some love down in the comments and say who you are, because I got to tell you, all it says for me right now is Facebook user. Facebook user. I don't want you to be Facebook user. I'm also live on Twitter for the first time. First time ever. You know, I don't even know that I had a Twitter account. I got to tell you, I'm so embarrassed to say that, but it's absolutely true. And so I'm looking forward to getting to know the Twitter community. Hey, Becky, welcome. Donna Green, good to see you. Elisa says hello from YouTube. Right on, welcome. Glad you're here. It's Joyce over on Facebook. Right on, Joyce. Good to see you tonight. If you are in Activating Your Great I Am, please say hello from Facebook land. Hey, Elisa 1225, I see you over there. I can't see. Oop, hello. Hold on now, y'all. And you're over on YouTube. Okay, Elisa, I see you. Right on, sis. Good. We're getting a little spread. Barb over on Facebook. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Right on, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, we've got our TikTok community coming in. Pin your goal so that people may notice it. All right, I'll pin that. Sure, why not? If you're over on TikTok, then you know our goal is always to fundraise for our community of veterans. Oh, there is. Is it my lipstick? Look at my son. Good job, Noah. He said, just looking out for you. There's something on your tooth. This is why I keep you on the payroll, babe. But seriously, I need to dock your pay because I don't have a tripod to set up my TikTok phone with properly. We're doing what we can. Like I said, it's our first night trying out this technology. So if you're tuning in, thank you so much. We're talking about the Aramaic language tonight and its importance. And not even just religiously. Yes, having the Aramaic is a conversation we had tonight in deconstructing Christianity. When they say, why is this translation you're using so important? Right? Oh, here, let me turn my my mirror. All right, that's probably better for you guys. All right. So we're talking about the Holy Bible from the ancient Eastern text. They call it the Peshitta. No, I do not have a fan on. Why? Huh. Is that just on TikTok? What about you guys on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook? Are you having any sound quality issues? Sounds like a fan. Boo, hiss, hiss. All right, hold on. I don't have a tech department here right now. My support team is out running errands, so hold on. No sound issue on Facebook. All right, hold on. What if I do that? All right, now I'm realizing I had in my last class, I had cried my eyes out. I mean, I held it together to teach the class, don't get me wrong. Oh, is it back? Yeah, Brian and I are looking at a microphone currently, but I also need a new laptop, so there's a bunch of need right now. What about now? All right. Sorry, y'all, over there. Like I said, when you were holding it was good. I know, that's the problem, is that I need to hold it for it to be good. Yeah. This is totally functional. What's the problem? What's your problem? All right. Gotta find poor Chalu Lemsa. His Bible is an armrest for me right now. It's ridiculous. So this translation is really crucial because we are not otherwise in the West exposed to the reality of the Eastern perspective on the manuscripts. It's not that the West hasn't had access to the manuscripts. The West has had access to the manuscripts. They're in these museums. They're in the British Museum. They're in Milan, Italy. They're in Washington, D.C. They're in New York. Do you understand? This text exists. There are even pictures of the plates in this Bible by Lemsa. There are like photocopies of the plates that the Aramaic language, you'll see it, Old Testament, New Testament, you will see it yourself. And if you're one of those people that are taking my Aramaic language class, the Lord's Prayer, learning the Lord's Prayer, or if you're taking Deconstructing Christianity, or any of the books on the Bible, Let There Be Light, Aramaic Light on Beatitudes, then you know that we're breaking down the language, the culture, the idioms, and that it is really imperative that if we're going to study scripture and call ourselves students of the Bible, that it is really imperative that we properly study. And it's historically shown. This is not someone's opinion. This is not, oh, it's because you're Assyrian. I've heard some people say, you know what, your pedigree doesn't get you anything. Well, you know what? If you don't appreciate that my people are from Mogadishu, where the Garden of Eden is, then that's your business. You don't have to respect that. If you don't appreciate or respect that my parents and grandparents and uncles and aunts and cousins and myself speak the language that of Aramaic, you don't have to. If you don't want to believe any of the teachings that I put out, whether you're on any of my social media platforms or in my classes, I don't ask anybody to change anything about what they believe. I simply would like to speak from and read from and teach from the original text and the proper context of the original text. That's crucial. Jesus said hellfire, and he no sooner meant hellfire than I do when I say I'm living in the land of milk and honey. There's not really milk and honey here. Okay, notification. Somebody on TikTok named Notification just said, warning, permanent ban will ensue if live video does not end within 5 minutes. And I love people who do this because they're really checking to see if we're critical thinkers or not, or if we're just going to be like reactors. And so I always go over and check out their so Brian said, notification, you so crazy. I usually go follow them. He's got 14 followers and he follows 6. I'm going to go follow him. Good job, buddy. Love what you're doing. Come on, notification. I love you more. Listen, y'all better learn how to play nice with each other. Start to have fun. Enjoy life. Get the sticks out of your nostrils. Right on, notification. I like what you're doing too, friend. Keep it up. Making thinkers smile. Yeah, notification, follow me back. Yeah, I love that. Somebody on Facebook said, haha, TikTok is so cute. Hola, Yarisa. Leona said, my mother really thought the streets were colored gold here in America. Right? Hey, listen, some of my immigrant people weren't sure about all these bridal showers. You guys done? You guys done? Bessa, Khina. Bessa, Talecha. Talecha, Maui, Bessa. Ta. Ta, Maui, Bessa. See, Brian's back. He's standing in the driveway talking to God knows who. Drea says she low-key panicked. Always go to the profile before you panic. First of all, that's not how this platform works. If you're going to get shut down, they shut you down. There's no, hey, friend, guess what? Oh, somebody complained about you. No, they're like, Dsh, lights out. All right. So the importance is having the language, yes, but also having the context of the culture. Because truth be told, that text wasn't written for anybody, I want to say west of the Mississippi, just as an expression. This wasn't written for people west of the Greco-Roman Empire. This wasn't written for people west into the Greco-Roman Empire. This was written for Eastern people, Near Eastern people. Now, some of them went into the West, into the Greco-Roman Empire, and that's why we saw letters written to them, but those letters were written in Aramaic, and even what modern-day conversationalists, not anybody that's really studied or they would know this, modern-day conversationalists know that what we call let's see, blah, blah. Okay. All right, hold on. What we call Aramaic or Hebrew is actually Aramaic. Let me pull it up. I want to pull up a couple of things. These are things, by the way, if you get into the studies with me, this is the kind of stuff that I will share with you so that you can be more greatly aware. All right, so if you're over on Activating Your Great I Am on Facebook, your browser has blocked your screen, click the screen icon in your address bar to allow it. Okay. Allow it. Allow it. Allow it. What are you even talking about? It's me, Chisler. Hey, Chisler. Hey, look, y'all. Jen Chisler's over on the Facebook group. Y'all can go over to the Facebook group if you'd like, or stay right where you are. We're over on Activating Your Great I Am. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. And we're here on TikTok on this phone that I'm holding in my left arm that is seriously going numb. I just need a break. Bear with me. Brian.
Yeah.
I need a, yeah, big time. All right. Here he comes to save the day. Hold on. All right, how y'all doing tonight? Talk to me. Where are you guys coming in from? Who are you? Where are you coming in from? Is this your first time listening to me? We're talking tonight. This is really a meet and greet. I'm on my new MultiStream platform of StreamYard. So I'm live on Facebook in Activating Your Great I Am. I'm live on YouTube at Rebecca L. Johns HHP. I'm live on Twitter at Rebecca L. Johns. And so for some of you, this might be the first time that you're getting to interact with me. I wanted to kind of get to know you. Robert is from Tucson, first time. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Fantastic. Arkansas, not my first time. Tony, did I hear you just say that you registered for something?
Sure.
Yes, very short. I was hoping to maybe move this and put it there on the corner. Perchance. What did you say you registered for, sis? The Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. Listen, Tony was in a class not too long ago, and we just loved having her read. And don't worry, I won't make you read if you're in a class. It's not you're not obligated. All right. I'm so excited also. I moved to Facebook, hearing you better. on Facebook than TikTok. All right, TikTokers, did that change our dynamic? Did Brian save the day for how you're hearing me on TikTok? Thank you, by the way, for liking the live. Thank you for any gifts you're giving on the platform of your choosing. It, of course, goes to our nonprofit organization. He just came and wiped my camera. What about that one? The people are saying hello to you, Brian. Also, that you saved the day on the sound. How do you like that? He's on one of these platforms somewhere. There he is. See? He said, aloha, my honor and privilege. I'm sorry, I can't sit here uncomfortable in my garments. I gotta. Man away from Ghana, I'm looking for a serious relationship with you. Oh, it's going to get serious when you meet my husband, for sure. Sorry, friend. I'm so extremely taken. Seriously. All right. So this translation then of the Holy Bible, the Peshitta, comes from these manuscripts that are Codex Ambrosianus in the Ambrosian Library in Milan, Italy, Mortimer Macaulay manuscript for the New Testament. That's 6th or 7th century AD. Freer Collection, Washington, D.C., with the Oromia edition, manuscript of the Peshitta Old Testament in the British Museum, the oldest dated biblical manuscript in existence. So that's available, okay? And what I'm going to show you on my screen, if you are someone who is on the group on Facebook, if you're on the group, if you are on YouTube, or if you are on Twitter, you get to see something. Sorry, everybody else. I can't show you right now because you're on my phone. I might have to do something. I don't know how we'll do it, but maybe another time. But I want to share my screen with you to be able to show you and give you some education on the Hebrew and Aramaic language. So for those of you that are via my MultiStream, you're going to be seeing this. If you're in the Facebook group, Activating Your Great I Am on YouTube or Twitter, you're seeing this. This is the Aramaic alphabet. The classical Aramaic is here in the center. Those classical letters are Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Dalet, He, Waw, Zain, Chen, Tet, Yud, Kaf, and so forth. These same letters, pronounced the same way, are written here in what's called the Estrangela font. And that font is what we saw traditionally in the writings of the gospel. But this dialect to the far right that took over what is this font is called is the box letters. The box letters were adapted and really kind of taken on by who were known as the Hebrews. And so it became the Jewish language, the Hebrew language, but it is Aramaic. So when people say, oh, well, the Bible is written in Hebrew, no, it's written in Aramaic. Hebrew at that time was a very ancient dialect of Aramaic. It was spoken in a particular region and by a particular group of people. And so this is the misunderstanding fundamentally. And it's something that I think is really important to understand. Now, another thing that people say to me from the West is, well, Rebecca, my pastor said that everything came from the Greek and that the New Testament was written in the Greek. And I understand why this, albeit twisted, but honest mistake can be made, especially if people are getting their knowledge in the West. Okay? So for those of you in Activating Your Great I Am YouTube and Twitter, I'm going to present to you, just share my screen with you, and present to you a map. And this map is of the late medieval church systems. If you'd like, you can research Lisa Toland. She is an educator on this subject. And she presented a conversation about the lost church, history of lost churches, one of them being the Church of the East. Now, the truth is the Church of the East is not lost. It is still alive. It is well. It is practicing. It is most commonly kept alive and preserved, even according to the most ancient of traditions, established by Thomas, the disciple of Jesus, By Foot to China, written by John M.L. Young. He was the head of the Presbyterian missionary movement to Japan. And in his missionary work going to the Far East, what he discovered was the Church of the East that Thomas had established that had migrated into China and India. And so here on this map, what you're seeing is that vast section of yellow is the Church of the East. The dark burgundy is the Oriental Orthodox. The light, lilac is the Eastern Orthodox, and the darker lavender is the Roman Catholic. So what came west is on the other side of the Roman Catholic. And so the Greco-Roman influence, the Greco-Roman culture. So what is coming to you in the West has gone from the Aramaic to the Hebrew to the Greek to the Latin Vulgate to the English. And not just language. Language is just one part of it. But culture, psychology, mysticism, belief systems. We're talking about everything that makes up humanity. It's so different from place to place. And at that time, we're talking a biblical time frame reference. At that time, a few miles up the road was like going 10 states over in America. Which is why the customs were the way they were. Which is why greetings and relationships were handled the way they were. There's a particular vibe. There's a whole scene. You got to get like virtual reality goggles on and step into scripture so that it comes to life for you, so that you're not just looking at blurbs and colors on a map, because what is ancient history for the West is yesterday for the East. Those of us from the East are still Eastern. Those of you who know Dr. Errico, who was the scribe and a scholar next to Dr. George Lemsa in his final 10 years of life, Dr. Errico has gone on to spend 50 years that Dr. Lemsa has not been on the earth, fulfilling his work, creating his own work, a scholar and author and lecturer and teacher in his own right. And we have, for the last year, collaborated on several projects. And he came from an Italian background. His descendants, if you will, are from the Italian bloodlines. His children, his grandchildren, his brothers, his parents. But he was really drawn and resonated to this because this message of Yeshua Messiah, even though it's packaged in the culture of the East, it's really for everyone. That's why it was so important that it's understood, because right now it's like a club. Right now it's like you've got to qualify to get in. You at any time can be kicked out, you are completely under judge and jury. And none of that, including the messages of an afterlife of heaven or hell, none of that were in the original language and teachings. So when I say to you that what has been found historically documented, people who have found the most ancient of manuscripts concur. So who is it that's telling you this about the Greek? And who is it that's telling you this about the Latin? And who is it that's telling you and touting you about to you the King James Version as the authoritative text? These are people who have bought into the indoctrination. Listen, history belongs to the victors, friends. The West conquered the East. Assyria might have been bad booty at one time, taking over 10 tribes of Israel, but Alexander the Great and a bunch of allies took care of that in about 600 BC. And so we're talking about major cultural shifts. We're talking annihilations of culture. God forbid we ever experience what we're talking about in these pages. God forbid. My family was from these parts, and it was the Ottoman Empire, the Ottoman War. It was the onslaught of Turks and Kurds on Armenians and Assyrians, a genocide of people that moved my family from Urmi, Iran, Persia, to France and Canada and America. My people weren't going anywhere. We'd been there forever. We'd been there forever. That's how it worked. You didn't go much far. You got married, you made babies, you built up the tribe, you fattened up the tribe, you made us strong, you added to our numbers, you went forth and multiplied. You just didn't go forth too far. You were near, not far. You know what I'm saying? It's a different culture, different mindset. I have an aunt. She had a bunch of kids, like 8 of them. When they got married, the sons brought their wives and lived at home for a year. Now, they worked, they had cars, but they paid their personal bills, they ate at home, and they saved their money for 1 year. And then, when they moved out, they were set up strong. They were prepared. They were set up to win. That's old country. Now, parents they got like a little turkey thing in the side of their kid. When it pops at 18, it goes, ding, you're cooked. Get out. Get out. You grown. Get out. I did my time. I did my 18. Wrap it up. Move it out. That's not the Eastern culture. It was very tight fit, tight knit communities. And it still exists like that today. It was a major clash of culture for my father to strive and drive for the American dream, and yet in his psychology be so opposite the American and Western mindset. Don't get me wrong, he was a loving man and very generous, but our culture sets women as second-class citizens, and yet he taught me to not need a man. Albeit our culture told him to dictate to me my dependence on a man, he made sure I was not. So I know that in people is a choice. It's not all about broad strokes. We have to get to know people. We have to get to know culture. We have to get to know language and the implication of certain things. You know, if you don't know what Netflix and chill means, you don't know what Netflix and chill means. And that's idiomatic speech, that's culture, that's timing, that's generations. I remember speaking with my friends in the car, my mother driving us to the movies because, you know, it was the 80s. That's what you did. You went to arcades and movie theaters. Okay? Putt-putt. Think Karate Kid. It was true. And I remember her giggling, saying, I feel like I'm on a different planet. I literally don't even. I would like try to whisper, and she'd say, oh, talk as loud as you want. I don't even understand what you people are talking about. Your words, I don't even know what language. It can't be English. It just can't be English. Right? Same America. I graduated from her high school. She graduated in 62. I graduated in 1991. That's how the same. I literally walked her halls. I stood in the yard where she grew up. I mean, it couldn't have gotten much the samer. But it was a different generation. It was a different time. And that cultural difference of timing of generation is different. Made everything different. So if the timing of generation in the same culture is going to be different, then what is the timing of generation in a whole other culture that's drastically different? How's that going to play out? And that's why we have this line of study. It's important that what we're reading, if you're going to adapt the Bible, if you're going to take the Bible into your life, you're taking a whole culture. And we're a culture that thinks Taco Bell is Mexican food. You know what I'm saying? We're a little bit confused. So I think it would be a good idea if part of what we start to understand is that the Bible is a Near Eastern culture's view written in a Near Eastern culture language with Near Eastern people in mind. Who was writing and who they were writing to were Near Eastern culture people. They weren't like, well, you better say this so that people in Detroit in 2023 really get it. That's what really matters, is that you write this and speak it. No, even the gospel itself, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, each disciple, they say apostle in Greek, but it's in Aramaic, it's shlicha, the sent one, right? So the shliche, sorry, I have some weird glitching happening over here. Do you guys have that? Am I good? Facebook user, you mean Tex-Mex isn't Mexican food? No, I really do. I hate to be the one to burst the mythology bubble, but Tex-Mex isn't Mexican food. I know. Devastating, isn't it? Also, at Taco Bell, guacamole is a powder that they add water to and make your guaca paste. Okay? That's what you need to understand. And so culture, we must understand that the culture of the Holy Bible was the Near East, the language of the Near East. And it's important that we understand that, because if you're not going to understand that, then you're going to fall into false doctrine. And the false doctrine came from misinterpreting and mistranslating. Mistranslating and misinterpreting. We have mistranslated and misinterpreted the words of Jesus, and then we took those mistranslations and misunderstandings, and then we made we litigated it. We created a legalized system. We made a religion out of it. And that is not what Jesus said to do. And now we walk around judging each other in the name of Jesus. We walk around saying who's going to go to hell. We walk around saying who's going to go to heaven. That's not our place. That's not our place. None of us knows anything about that. And all of us should stay silent in the matter. We are called to be the light. We are sent to be the light. And instead, we're more concerned about who people are having sex with and what they're wearing and what they're eating. And instead, we're more concerned about who's got what gifts and seated in what state of authority and what the popularity contest is. And instead, we've turned Christianity into a club and not a ministry, not a chance to love people. And that's because we've misunderstood language, culture, and intention. We've misinterpreted, mistranslated, and therefore manufactured a wrong religion and a wrong religious system. And I'm sorry to anybody who that might offend. It is certainly not my interest to be offensive to you, but it is my interest to be honest with you. It is my interest to share knowledge and information with you. And so if you're new to my content, first of all, welcome, bless you. Everyone's welcome here. There's no one that is not welcome here. I don't care what your ethnicity is. I don't care what your religious background is. I don't care what country or nation you're tuning in from. I don't care what sexuality you identify with, what sexual orientation you prefer. I do not care. I am not called to judge you. I am called to support you, understanding that you are a part and particle of the great I am. You are a piece of God incarnate. Remember Genesis 1, 27? Male and female, he, them made. Equal. Yin and yang. Feminine and masculine. And from them was to come the world. Not a bunch of the same. The world. Multiply. Multiply. And the message of Jesus was to say that it does not matter your color, your creed, your gender, your religion. What matters is that you understand that you are a descendant of Spirit, that you are a descendant of Creator, and that as Spirit, as Creator, incarnate, you have authority to live a life where you don't rot, to live a life where you don't perish. Sound familiar? We made it all religious, right? John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten Son, for those who believe would not perish but have eternal life, everlasting life. We misunderstood that. It doesn't say his only begotten Son. It says his firstborn Son. It says his ichidaya. It says his firstborn, because in the East, the firstborn gets everything. And so in the East, to say you and I are equal to the firstborn Son is a tremendous statement. It is to decree and declare upon you utmost authority, sovereignty, power. To say that was to charge and activate you as part and particles of the Creator. 1 John 4:4. My beloved children, you are overcomers because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. And so we cannot get caught up in the flesh. Excuse me. We cannot get caught up in the flesh. It is the flesh that will perish. It is the flesh that will perish. But when we walk in spirit, we have everlasting life. We don't perish. We have the good life. In Aramaic, that means you got the good life. You see some 86-year-old dancing at a wedding, you're like, man, they're going to live forever. I had an Aunt Jane. We used to say that, man. Aunt Jane's going to live forever. That everlasting life. But that was an idiom. It was an expression to say, man, she's not going to be living just that regular getting old and getting spotted and rotting. She is preserved, isn't she? She's looking good, doesn't she? And I'll tell you, it's not a joke. If you knew Aunt Jane and you knew her faith and her love for God and her praise on the Holy Spirit, that she would be like Jesus was in the world, you would know she didn't live to be about 100 as fabulously as she did for no reason. She was truly living an everlasting life. And that's the message of Jesus, and that's the opportunity for me and you, is to step into a faith walk. Step into a faith walk. Someone from Facebook said, what happened to the apple? Well, first of all, it's a little tangerine or whatever they're called these days. But it's just got old. It got weathered, right? Because life wears you down if you don't have something preserving you. If you don't have something preserving you, right? What perishes is the flesh. And so you have to have a spirit that will preserve you. You have to tune into something that will preserve you, because in this life, you really get banged around, get weathered. Just simply the aging process alone. Jen, she said, what happened to the apple? I used to have an apple. When I would do this little demonstration, I had an apple. And I had this apple that I kept here on my desk. And so the community over a couple of months got to watch that apple age quite nicely. And it had to go, Jen. It had to go. It went down the garbage disposal is where it went. It had to go bye-bye. All right, my friends, it has been a blessing to be with you this hour. Remember, I do have a new live schedule. I will be live as you are seeing me here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as TikTok on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nothing on Fridays and Saturdays. And then 1 p.m. Sunday service on Sundays. Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing our Missionary Monday and serving our beloved community in Kampala, Uganda. Pastor Konkona is on tonight. If you would please follow him, you're welcome to donate to their ministry directly or donate on Heaven on Earth Ministries page. Make a note that you are donating to our Uganda family. We are constantly fundraising for their good, so that their children, there's an orphanage of 85 children and 65 elderly. They're a church family as well, so it's a congregational community, and they have a need. And Kampala, Uganda is not a friendly place with the system. There might be friendly people that are there, but the system that governs the people is not fair, and it does not care. And so your giving, your donations are feeding. Those donations go from us to them. And so anything you donate, we receive from you. There are fees. There are fees to transfer, right? If you come in through PayPal or any of that, there are fees. There are fees to wire money through Western Union. But otherwise, minus the fees, everything you donate goes to them. And we are fundraising. They do have a immediate need for food. But as always, we are fundraising for a water well to be drilled and materials for schooling, materials for electricity. There's tremendous need. So we are praying that we can be the solution, and we are praying that you will link arms with us to be the solution with us. Any of your giving is appreciated. You can do that at livinggodspromises.com, or you can Zelle Rebecca at livinggodspromises.com. Soon we'll have some different links and a new website, and you'll be able to see all kinds of different ways to participate with us. But in the meantime, go to livinggodspromises.com or click the link in my bio if you can, if you're on a platform that has it. But by all means, connect, join us in classes, in prayer. Congratulations to those of you who registered for classes tonight. I look forward to seeing you around our virtual campus. Thank you so much, and God bless you. If one of the mods could help Andrea, because I'm pretty sure I sent an email back in the last 24 hours. Good answer, Jackie. There's some action on TikTok. Hey, I appreciate you so much. Many blessings. Much love to you, Jen Chisler. Really great to see you. Glad to have you and your family present, touching base. And one more thing, if y'all are looking at classes and money is at all an issue, please be in touch with me. Scholarships are available, sometimes partial, sometimes full, but scholarships are available for almost all of our programs. So check out the classes at livinggodspromises.com, and I look forward to being with you again. Tomorrow is our national holiday, Independence Day here in the USA, so our offices of the Godly Woman and Heaven on Earth Ministries will be closed. Therefore, I will not be going live at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. tomorrow night. However, I will be live again on Wednesday at 10 a.m. for Wisdom Wednesday. Join me to ask questions. Typically, people are usually asking me questions about the Bible on Wednesdays, but you can ask for any counsel from me as a purpose coach or a spiritual minister, and of course, any material on the Aramaic and scripture conversation that you'd like to have. All right, Andrea, I hope we can get connected with you, friend. thank you again for all of you for being here. Bless you. Bless your evenings. And I'll see you Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific, right here on all these platforms. How cool is that? God bless you guys. Good night. Peace.